Hello children, welcome back to your English class. We are starting with unit number 9 of Honeysuckle book. The name of the unit is Desert Animals. So as the name suggests, this chapter is going to throw light upon the life of desert animals and their unique ways to adapt to the harsh atmosphere. How is the lifestyle of these animals in the desert is, and how they survive under very harsh conditions of the desert. So we are going to read about the few animals of the desert in this chapter, and also we are going to discuss their lifestyle, how do they live and what do they do to survive into the desert. In order to survive, they have to do a lot of things into the desert, and how they have adapted themselves. That means they have mixed with the surroundings and accepted their surroundings and living according to their environment. Moving on, deserts are the driest places on earth and sometimes go for months or even years without rain. Desert are the places, a landform on the earth which has less vegetation. That means very less plants survive into the desert because it is so dry. It is a dry place, so no rainfall takes place for months or even years sometimes. Moving on, but even the desert animals cannot survive without water. Of course, nobody can survive without water. So desert animals, though living into the dry places, they cannot survive without water or for long periods in the scorching sun. That means harsh hot sun. So they have had to find different ways of coping with the harsh conditions. Not all deserts are endless seas of rolling sand dunes. That means sand dunes means a big heap of the sand. So some are rocky and some are pebble and dotted with small bushes, while others are sprinkled with colorful flowers during the spring. Yet deserts are dry, but some are not. Or they are not always covered with sand. So whenever we say desert, all sand dunes and this sand comes to our mind in our imagination. But some are rocky, some are having small bushes, and some are also having colorful flowers during the spring season. Cactus is one of the plant which is very common in deserts. So, and in strange insects called darkling beetles are experts at catching drops of moisture on their legs, then lifting them into the air until the drop trickle down into their mouth, just like the way I am doing. So they take their moisture like that. Grublis spend the hottest part of the day in the cool underground burrows. As you can see in the picture, this is a small creature into the desert which is spending hottest parts of the day into the underground burrows in order to save itself from the scorching sun. In desert, the day is very hot, but as compared nights are very cool in desert as compared to days. Moving on, there are more than 2300 different types of snakes around the world. 2300 different types of snake there are around the world, ranging from just 15 centimeters long to move to 11 meters. As you can see in the pictures, that a snake can have a minimum of 15 centimeters of length to 11 meters as the people are holding it. Most snakes are quite harmless, but there are few that are so poisonous they can kill a human being with just one bite. Well, how? Read it here. As you can see, most snakes lay eggs, but there are many which give birth to their young. In the dry, rocky deserts of America lives a rather evil looking snake. As you can see in the cartoon picture, that it is actually looking evil. It is not looking that attractive or good. That's why it is called evil looking snake. Its frightening rattle. Rattle means this small structure of on the back, on the end of its tail. As you can see in the image, it is moving. So that is known as rattle. And due to this rattle, only the name of the snake is rattlesnake. Its frightening rattle can be heard as far as 30 meters away and can strike with lightning speed. Moving on, but the rattlesnake, or rattler as it is sometimes called, prefers to avoid people. If it possibly can, it holds its tail upright and rattles the end whenever it is disturbed in the hope that the intruder will go away. So now rattle is likely giving the warning to the people coming towards it by rattling that end of the tail and making a sound in order to avoid the contact with the human beings, and he always does this, gives the rattle sound as a warning. However, if its warning are ignored and it feels threatened, it will coil. That means it will turn into coil, ready to bite, but the rattler itself cannot hear the noise of its own tail makes. That means rattlesnake is also does not have hearing power as other snakes. They only feel the snakes are very good at feeling the vibrations and of the person which is coming towards them through the earth. So like most snakes, it hears things through vibrations in the ground. So whatever vibrations our walk or anybody's walk make into the ground, they feel that, and with the help of that vibration only they try to identify the creature, and when they see it they move the rattle, but they cannot hear the sound of the rattle themselves. It's just that snake is like snake is thinking that if I am moving the rattle, it will give signal. Snake does not know that it is actually making a sound for us. So warning of rattle from the rattlesnake, a sound made by the rattlesnake is the warning for the human beings not to go nearby it. Otherwise, if we ignore that warning, it is going to bite us. Rattlesnakes are very common and widespread animals living right across the American continent from Canada to Argentina. They feed on variety of prey including, now as you can see, mice, voles and rats. Different types of rat family kind of animals are these. These rattlesnakes feed on these animals. Rattlesnakes kill their prey with venom. Like all snakes, venom means the poison present into the snakes. They swallow the unfortunate animal whole. Few snakes have to eat more than once a week, and some such as large python can survive for a year or more without eating, because this python which they are talking about is able to swallow a whole big animal as big as a deer. So if it is swallowing that as big as a deer animal, it will not need any more food for the year or more. So it can go without eating for a year. Moving on to another animal of the desert, which is mongoose. Like to hunt together. They live in a group actually, but they always keep a lookout for dangerous predators. That means those who are trying to kill mongoose nearby, poking their noses into holes, overturning rocks with their paws, and scratching the ground with their sharp claws. So they have very sharp claws. Banded mongoose are very amusing animals to watch. A common sight in many parts of Africa. They travel in groups and about 20 to forage for beetles. That means to search for food. What is their food? Beetles, millipedes and other small creatures. So they eat insects. So these are mongooses who always go into the group of about 20, and they search for food together. They like to hunt together, keeping in touch whenever they go out of sight behind rocks or bushes by twittering and calling. Twittering means making a sound and calling. So they, if some member of the group hides behind the rock or searching for something, so they keep their group informed that I am here or I am there by making the sound. Always on a lookout for danger. They are very attentive animals. They always look out for the danger nearby. Hawks, eagles and large snakes are the danger animals which they look out for. Mongoose is called or known as the enemy of a snake also. So it always look out, because it is a desert animal too. It always look out for the snake nearby. They warn one another with a special alarm call if they spot anything suspicious. So if they find anything suspicious, they inform the other group members by making a sound or alarm call, as they are calling it. Mongoose are famous for being able to kill snakes without getting hurt themselves. They do kill snakes without getting hurt themselves. Their reactions are so fast that they can dodge. That means if a snake is trying to attack the mongoose, it will go away from that. So they are very fast in order to save themselves. So without getting injured, they just keep the snake, they annoy the snake very much. They just make him bite, but they do not get that, they are not bitten by the snake easily. The snake is just they are just annoying the snake and moving fast from here and there. And when at last when the snake is very tired, they dive in and kill quickly the snake. So this is how fast these mongooses and clever these mongoose are. All the female mongoose have their kitten at about the same time by the whole group in the den made inside. They are raised by the whole group. So now if one female mongoose is having a baby, it is raised by every person in the group which exists. So like they are likely to give birth to their kittens into the same period of time, and they live in a den made inside an old termite mound or a hollow log of wood. When most of the adults are out looking for food, so they leave their kids into the den when they are going to search for food, and two male mongoose stay behind to stand guard until the other return for the night. So this is how they work in the group. It is always a teamwork. The kids are being raised by all. Everybody's kid is being raised by each and everyone. Everybody lives together into the den. They go for hunting together. Two are guarding the kids, the small kittens, into the den. Others have gone to search for food. They keep informed each and everyone about their whereabouts. Where are they hiding? They also alert everyone of the danger. So they are working in a team always. Moving on, the very famous and very important animal of the desert, the sheep of the desert, is camel. So another animal which lives in the desert is camel. Camel were first domesticated by the people many thousand years ago. So it is a domestic animal. In the wild, camels usually live in small group of up to 30. If it is a wild camel, it will live in a group of 30. Camels have long, shaggy winter coats to keep warm and shorter tidelier coats to keep cool in the summer. So these shaggy winter coats, that means the hair on their body keeps them warm in winter as well as keep them cool in summer. A thirsty camel can drink as much as 30 gallons of water in 10 minutes. So 30 gallons is a lot of water which a camel can drink in 30 minutes when it is very, very thirsty. So this is cute looking camel here. Normally, however, it gets all the moisture it needs from the desert plants and can survive for up to 10 months without drinking any water at all. So hump of the camel is its main area where it stores all food in the form of fat, and it gets all the moisture from desert plants itself, whatever is needed by its body, and it can survive for up to 10 months without drinking any water at all. Moving on, there are two different kinds of camels. One, known as the dromedary, has only one single hump, and other is called the Bactrian camel and has two humps. Hump help them to survive in the desert by acting as storage containers. As you can see, the man is sitting between two humps. So this camel which we are seeing in the picture is the Bactrian camel with two humps. One with only one hump is known as dromedary camel. Moving on, but they don't store water. Like as you have heard the myth about that the hump of the camel stores water for a long period of time. That's why it survives without water. It's not true. They are full of fat. These humps are full of fat. This fat nourishes the camel. That means provides food and nourishment and every nutrient to the camel. When food is scarcer, that means when the food gets less, if they have nothing to eat for several days, their humps shrink as fat is used up. So whenever they are not able to eat, the fat system which is stored into the humps of the camel provides them the nourishment, and as the fat is being used by the body for functioning of the body, for doing everyday activities of the camel, it shrinks with the time. But again, if camel is able to eat so much at a time or time to time, the hump remains intact. There are many other ways in which camels adapt in desert life. Like their mouths, for example, are so tough that even a sharp thorn cannot pierce through. That means if they eat a whole cactus also, the thorns on the cactus will not be able to damage or injure the mouth of the camel. The mouth is that strong. It also adapts. That means it has adapted towards its environment. It is living according to its environment because the legs, the foot of camel is designed in such a way that it can walk on the sand very easily, as you and I cannot. We human beings cannot walk on the desert very easily, but camels can. That's why they are known as the ship of the desert, sorry. Thank you so much for watching this video. With this, your chapter ends here. I hope you understood well. Do read this chapter from your honeysuckle book and let me know if you have any doubts. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in next class. Till then, be safe and stay at home. Thank you.